Someone asked me once if I remembered how it all went down, as if it happened so long ago that anyone could forget.
Hey everybody, Brandon Jones here. I got my buddy Mike Huber.
Yeah.
And we are knee deep in Judges Week right now. But you were able to join me for the PlayStation event.
Yes.
And probably the premier game that is not getting a ton of buzz when you talk about Sony exclusives.
Yeah.
Everybody's, fresh off of God of War and extremely hyped, for Spider-Man coming up. But I am also hyped for Days Gone, and I'm glad that you share some hype with me.
Absolutely.
Especially after finally getting a chance to play it.
Yeah.
So this is the first hands-on from everybody.
Yeah.
And we both got 20 minutes with it, and then right at the end of the big appointment, I noticed there were a couple couches free, and I'm like, I'm gonna jump in, and somebody just finished their demo, and so I jumped in after them and got a chance to slowly kind of just play with the systems.
Nice.
So we'll get into that, but I got my notes here.
Cool.
But I want your first raw impressions of Days Gone.
Days Gone is great, and it's going to be great.
Great.
Yes. Now, there's a disclaimer there.
Yeah.
I know why this game got delayed to 2019, because it runs at a very steady 15 frames per second.
I think it's
Whoa.
I think the frame rate is not consistently inconsistent, but boy, when it stops, it's a full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, you really get some
Rough.
Yeah.
And the animations with the melee, I feel like that's always kind of a hard thing to get down, is you're meleeing someone and it kind of clips through, or the
Sure.
weird dodging and stuff.
Right.
So there's rough around the edges, but what's there I absolutely love, and I think some of the criticism we've seen coming in has been, it's just another zombie game, it's just another open world game. I never have a problem with games not breaking new ground. I never have that issue.
Sure.
I don't mind.
Well, there's refinement, There's
Exactly.
really, it's clear to me, I think my main attachment to Days Gone, and I've said this before, is a personal thing. So it's a tough game for me to openly recommend. I wouldn't just grab somebody in the street and be like, you would love Days Gone. True. But whenever I think about the apocalypse, and I think about it a great deal, Michael Huber, I think about, you always see the freeways and all these cars jammed. You got, the episode 1 of Walking Dead, he gets a horse. That does not end well. And I would just imagine, the Bon Jovi song, got on a metal horse or whatever. Now I can't think of the actual lyric, but just cruising around. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. There it is. So he's cruising around this apocalypse on a steel horse, and it makes sense to me that he's in this mobile vehicle that can go off road. He can go on dirt paths. He can go on asphalt. He can dodge trees. It's strong enough to knock a zombie over, but at the same time, they'll leap and take you off that thing.
Yeah.
And so I just love the vibe of this guy who you have these settlements, and so many people are dug in, and they're like, we're lucky to be alive. We're lucky to even get this far. And so why tempt fate? Why step outside of our borders? And you have, just a handful of people who are willing to do that, who are willing to, take messages from one camp to another, to go out and scrounge around for resources. When you think of the great apocalyptic games of the past, your Half-Life, it's always just you by yourself. And I like the idea that you're kind of this, hero of these small camps, of these people who kind of look up to you wow, you have the balls to go out there and actually face the horde.
Totally. I felt that straight away. I did like that aspect. And, I had the chance to interview the development team a little bit. I stuck around and asked them a bunch of questions. So a couple of questions were about the camps, and I guess each camp has its own reputation meter. I guess it's not called a reputation meter, but you have to you basically have to earn their trust. And I think that's cool, because I'm so used to open world games and just all right, check this off, build this up, or I got everything I need within the first couple hours of the game, and I'm just ready to tear it up and kill everyone. And I think this is cool that you have to work with each camp separately. So not only is it good for gameplay, where it's all right, I gotta, different manage different things, but it's a different group of people, So I asked him, I was like, well, can you do more with the people in your base? Can you, is there more to do with that? And he was like, I can't really get into that. So I'm wondering if you can maybe play them against each other, or if there's some kind of like army thing,
or what the benefits are. They're probably still developing. They're probably still adding like just a little bit of functionality there. Yeah, I didn't get into. There's one specific quest that they send you on, and like we had 20 minutes, and so that's like just
rushed,
just about enough time to like go get this item for one of your friends. Take out a couple zombies there, do a little bit of resource gathering, get back on your bike, take it to your friend, cutscene's over, and then you're done. I saw a lot of people basically end at that point when they're like, hey, they brought the item, the bandages to their friend.
Yeah.
But I liked that scene actually because he gets these bandages and he takes it to his friend that like thankfully isn't like, oh, I got bit, but I guess has some kind of like either just got burned or like
looks
some like
real bad.
like a road rash or something. And when he walked in the room, I was like, oh no, here we go. This friend's gonna have a big personality. We're gonna have some comic relief here, or he's gonna have some like really heavy backstory or something they're gonna dump on me. It was just really quick, simple interaction. He was like, yeah, here's this. Do you need me to help you? And the guy's like, no, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
And he like spooked when he first walks in and pulls the shotgun on him, and there's like, oh, whoa, calm down. And it's just like, hey, thanks, man. Like, I think we can get through this. I think we'll be okay. And he's hiding out in like a Firewatch tower, basically. And that's all fenced in, and has like the auto gate when you drive out. And I just loved how simple that exchange was. Yeah. And I think that's another reason why people are turned off is like, agreed, it is a very kind of cookie cutter main character. Like, doesn't seem kind of like an Aiden Pearce all over again. Like, doesn't seem like there's like a ton of depth to him. But I'm also kind of digging that because of just how run down and desolate and exhausting this apocalypse seems, this life, so the fact that you don't have this guy with a huge personality or this huge, I think he's like, his wife is missing or something. I think when they at first pitched the game,
I think she dies.
When we first found out about it, there was something he had, some mystery he needed to solve or someone he needed to rescue or something he needed to get to the bottom of. But I don't really need that. I'm totally fine kind of adding my own personality to this guy because you're just driving around trying to survive. Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of the Mad Max game, or in a little sense Horizon, in that there's so few people that are willing to go out into the wild to survive this new world. And I'm totally fine just stopping at places, digging for resources and moving on. Upgrading my bike just a little bit here, a little bit there.
Dopamine rush.
Yeah.
Because
that's enough for me.
I love that you brought up the people in the story, because there's another part where a lady gets the drop on you with a sniper rifle. Did you do that part?
No.
Okay, this was amazing for me because maybe it caught me off guard and I wasn't expecting much from the story and the character. But lady comes up and gets a drop on you, and he turns around and he's like, yo, if you had any bullets, I'd be dead already. She's like, all right, you got, like, she drops her gun and he lets her go. Okay, brutal world, trust no one.
Yeah.
This is after I cleared a camp of like rebel guys, so I just killed a bunch of guys. She comes up with a gun. He lets her go, and then he gets a call on the radio, and the guy's like, you let her go, didn't you? And I thought it was good because the way he responded was like, yes, and I know I shouldn't have. Because, like, trust no one. This person could come back. She could tell others.
Yeah.
She could become a threat. So he was, like, wrestling with that. And I was like, okay, we're going to go there. I like that. That he is probably does some really bad things, but he also has a heart and a conscience and a code, if you will. So,
and even on a smaller level, this was not like a big character interaction, but I found
a small little thing.
But I bumped into the trap that they had laid in the last gameplay demo that they saw, where somebody had set up a wire, and I totally like right at the last second, like, oh, I almost hit that thing, and like hopped off the bike, snapped it, and the two guys got like angry. They were like, no, like we almost had you. And so they came running out and like hid behind a car. They lost me, popped up, axe to the face, took their stuff. And like, that feels good to actually spot those. And I remember thinking that was kind of cheesy because they really wanted to focus on like, it's different if you go out at night versus if you go out at day. But like actually bumping into one of those traps, they probably get old after a while. But I really enjoyed that. So you did do the spot where you got the bandages. So you did do this. Some stuff that I picked up from there that I thought was interesting. You have to power up the generator, so you get gas for that. Obviously, you need gas for your motorcycle. That gas runs out quick. If you leave from the camp to go do this thing, go help your friend, and then get back to the camp, your tank's pretty much empty. And that's just like one quest, or like one mission. And so I don't know.
You can level it up,
of course, but like I wonder if that's a big thing. Whether you're like stylistically, I would like to jazz up my bike, make it look a little bit better, but obviously I want it to have functionality. And if like having brighter lights helps, because you can see at night, having a sturdier thing so it doesn't take so much damage. I don't know what happened, but the second time I was playing, I went to go take out a camp and went back to my bike, and my bike was thrashed. And I don't know if like wild animals, beat it up, or if it was just like a glitch or what.
Yeah, what?
It was at 4%. And like smoking, and I like got on it, and it was just like I went by a bunch of zombies, like I'm totally screwed, but managed to get it back to the camp and like refill the gas, repaired it, and like cost all the money that I had. But I was like, I'm not gonna go back to this playthrough. Oh well.
Yeah. And I thought the quests were well designed. It's still like go to the checkpoint here.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I got there, they gave me less information. So it was like, all right, get in that building. But it didn't exactly tell you how. It was like, okay, kind of search around. You kind of had to piece it together. It wasn't a puzzle or anything, but it wasn't holding your hand to the point where you could fully tune out.
And I like that it's not automatic. Again, I loved the physicality in Mad Max of like taking out the gas tank, loading it up, putting the gas tank back. Kind of like Sea of Thieves, bringing up the sails, bringing down the sails. I know that can kind of seem rudimentary and like almost annoying and repetitive, to some players, but I just love that. I love actually seeing that meter go up and hearing like kunk, 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 as like filling up. Just it gives me an attachment to that bike, and I thought that level was a good introduction to the concept of the gas can. I'm sure you could also use it as a weapon or shoot that.
Yeah.
You bring up an interesting point that like people probably shouldn't look for too much in these quests. Again, didn't really get a sense of the big overarching story from this demo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm imagining most of the things in this game are just go to a spot, open each door, being like, I hope there's nothing attacking me. Yeah. No, okay. Oh, look at that. There's a little thing. Found a bunker at one area.
Yeah.
The melee is so satisfying because I got
real satisfying
when I jumped in on the second
club.
I didn't do the spike club. I had a baseball bat the first time, which broke. Like there's durability on those, and the second time when I picked it up, when the guy had already playing, he picked up an axe somewhere, and that axe was great.
I didn't get
really,
an axe.
really felt good.
Got the shotgun. The shotgun was all right.
Just sneaking. Oh, okay. That was kind of fun.
I thought it was good. It wasn't like the top tier, but it was good.
Shooting kind of felt like Last of Us a little bit. A little wobbly. Got the circular reticle. The guns kind of sounded a little bit like that. Noise definitely comes into play. So you turn on this generator, and to get into the building to get this item for your friend, and then that sets the radio off, which is like calling people to come for medical assistance. And he starts freaking out, like, I gotta get out of here. Yeah. And I got out before any other zombie showed up, but I wonder.
I talked to Andrea about it, and she gave me some ideas. So then when I went to go play, I was like attacking the base, and I went over and I just like shot, just like dish, 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 dish. Zombies came, and then they like came into the base, and all the guys were like, over there. It was awesome. And then I died one time, pretty good difficulty on normal, but I do want to get into the difficulty thing. But then another time I did the exact same base, and I ran in because I tried to like stealth someone, and he saw me, and I ran and like stepped on a trap, and I was in a bear trap, and I was like totally caught with my pants down, and like just I can see that being such a good part of the game, and they've tried to show that in E3 demos and PSX or whatever. Yeah. Just how different each encounter can go.
Not to mention wild animals. And when I was really like just kind of putt, like trying to get back to the base on my motorcycle, just two wolves came out and could like see me at a distance, and I was like, please, just leave me alone. But I imagine just right at that moment, you're like, oh, victory against humans, like bear. And you're like, oh, kind of like Red Dead.
Yeah. I am worried about the difficulty, Jones.
Okay.
I know you love just being a god in these open world games and just killing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would love it if there was, because I asked him, I said, are there more than one difficulty? And he said, not right now. We're thinking about it. I really think this game, and especially to win back some people, I think it desperately needs a hardcore mode where there's no fast travel, because the game has fast travel, and to me
which we didn't really get into.
That immediately devalues the attachment to the motorcycle, because then I said, well, what if it breaks down in the wild and I go back home? And he's like, okay, well, you can send your people at base out to go retrieve it. Oh, okay. So that's probably like a timer or something. We'll be back in a few minutes. I think a hardcore mode would be incredible with no fast travel, really having to manage
even like
your
Breath of the Wild style, if they maybe after launch,
yes.
Like as an update, just added that if people want to go through a second playthrough or like.
Yes. I really think it would help sell this game.
But those zombies don't go down easy.
No.
And they're quick.
Yeah.
And not in kind of a freaky
it's not
way.
An
like
easy game. I just think it. Yeah, as the concept, I really think the concept would lend itself well to just tighten it up, no fast travel, less fuel.
Yeah, and I thought the frame rate was rough, but I thought the natural environment felt really good. It was really pretty. Obviously, it's just one location, so I'm sure we get into kind of more open fields and mountains and snow and stuff like. I know there's snow. We saw snow before, from their demo, but I thought it was real pretty riding around.
When you push start or whatever in the options, there's a Days Gone. It says,
oh, how many days gone?
How many days
since,
gone?
Yeah.
It was like 730 is where we picked up. I'm like, I look over. I'm like, oh, spoiler alert. This thing's gonna hit like 5,000, isn't it? Yeah. And he just like smiled. I'm just like, I know it, dude. Like the prologue will probably be like day one, you know.
The menu is interesting too because this is a PlayStation exclusive, and it takes you use the center pad as you swipe it to go to the different menus. So up swipe, left swipe, right swipe, and down swipe goes to like the map and the skills and stuff.
I think triggers too.
Oh, triggers too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought that's how he instructed me. He's like, swipe it. And I was like, oh, okay. That's new. Don't see that too much. So yeah, it's tough again because, you know, I want to say all of this in context. Like, it was just fun for me to finally get some time to like relax with this game because this game is not going to win awards. This game is not going to break. I don't think that, you know, 90 on Metacritic.
In a perfect world, it could have, but it's not.
I just think it's going to be a game that I really enjoy just picking away at and just spending some time with.
Absolutely.
And I just think it like turning the page of every Walking Dead comic I ever read, opening every door of every like safe house is like, you know, like who knows what crazy. Like there was one, in that base where we got the bandages, I like could hear a zombie, and I'm like, I hear that sucker. Where is it? And then just forgot about it and was just like wandering around the back of the base. And I'm like, oh, kerosene, and like boom, just like came up behind me. Like I think my health dropped down to like 23% and like stood there for a long time because like I ran out of med kits and that's the frustrating part of this because they didn't start us at like the very beginning, like we're a couple hours in, I think. And so like you want to be like, I want to start this from the beginning so I know every step of the way. I can be really careful about when I use my ammo, when I how much is that shotgun ammo that I save, and you know how I can like manage resources.
I used it immediately.
Yeah, of course. Just to try it out. Yeah. But it was fun. They actually very clearly labeled like items on the ground. Like you could see not only that there's a weapon there, they had a little shadow of like the type of gun, so you could tell at a distance, like, oh, let me just use that up and use it in this combat scenario, then drop it and go back to my AK or whatever.
That stuff did seem very balanced. Supplies and crafting.
Yeah.
I was picking up what felt like a good amount to kind of be struggling, but also have enough to kind of get through each situation.
Yeah.
Like tuning that perfectly is just, I don't know how they do it. It's so great.
Enemy designs I dug. I think even the people in Last of Us were all kind of creepy looking. Like they were all, you're like, I have no problem killing you because you're a scary thug guy, you know? And like, there were some people in these areas that were just like normal people, you know, that were just like, we're just, you know, defending ourselves, and like, you have your camp, this is our camp, and what are you doing here? And so I thought that was interesting. And the zombies themselves, I thought actually were an interesting design, considering how many times that's been done again and again, that they weren't like flesh falling off the face zombies. They were more like, you know, dig up a casket after 2 weeks and you have kind of the pale skin, stretched skin.
Yeah, the stretched.
You know, the kind of the teeth sticking out, you know, and like the sunken in eyes. Just an interesting design. Just get that baby to 60 frames and we're locked and loaded.
Yeah, honestly, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, I want to make sure that you all understand that it did not run well. It just did not run well. It is. I don't know much about game development, but I know that it did not run well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was at night. There was rain. The environments looked great.
The mud coming off the bike, and the bike feels good too. Like
it feels really like a place.
It's really easy to do a quick 180 on that thing, and I love.
Yeah, you can tap it to drift. It's like,
oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah.
And just kind of weave through trees and stuff like that. It just feels like you can go anywhere, and it's fun to like when I first got grabbed and the bike went sliding, and then I like got out the shotgun, took care of the zombies, and then I'm like, all right, where's my bike? Like, oh, there it is. You can like see it on the map, and like had to go over there and like took a little bit of damage. But I think it's gonna be a slow burn. I think, but and it's not gonna be something where it's full of all of these amazing tear jerking story moments.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Exactly, you nail it, Jones, and just how much you love these games where it's like we know a lot of what this game is, and you know, so many. I was searching the map, and so many of the things are like 0 out of 14 missions completed, and or like 1 out of 9 things collected or whatever. So it's you're doing quests for people and leveling up your base and going on side missions and crafting, and it's just a damn good time.
My head is swimming right now because I'm 2 days into Judges Week. We got 2 more days. We have even more stuff to talk about from specifically this PlayStation event. So expect a lot more videos from us as all these embargoes come trickling out from all our E3 coverage. Thank you so much for, I think, giving this a good, honest try.
Yeah.
I dig it. And I was talking to Brad, actually, at the Square event, and he was like, I think I'm excited for Days Gone too. So
Nice.
slowly,
Good.
person by
We'll
person, that we're winning people over.
Yeah.
Hopefully it holds up, and we actually get to play this game next year. 2019.
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned, everybody.
But those days are gone. Now I'm a drifter, a bounty hunter, a mercenary. And for me, the broken road is all that's left. But I'll always remember